I never lied. From day one, I told you that I wasn't built for this. I had no desire to do anything more than whatever it was we were doing. You made things complicated. Changed the rules, changed the request, changed the reason. You decided that you wanted more. Tried to squeeze orange juice out of an apple. But that's not where this poem starts. When we met, I told you that I was far too broken, a project with no promise. I was a 1,000-piece puzzle with 900 missing pieces. We settled on being just friends. But not the kind of friends with benefits, the kind that listened and laughed and loved with no boundaries. I began to tell you everything until our thoughts became inseparable. Our late nights, loneliness, and a little bit of liquor led to a lapse in judgment, and the next morning, we built our confusion up like sandcastles with the possibility of everything and nothing. You told me that you wanted everything. As I stood holding a bag of half-realized promises, you told me that you wanted us to be different. But to me, it was more of just the same. I still walked around with no desire to settle, and you held your worth against every story that didn't lead back to us. I told you that I didn't believe in us because I didn't believe in me. Monogamy wasn't a monster hiding in my closet. I had already decided that it was trash, set it on a compost pile, and told the world that I wanted nothing to do with it. So in your anger, you called me a failure, a fraud, a fuckboy. You labeled me the problem. Then tried to find the solution in yourself. But question, math problem. If Paul has 5 apples, how many would you have to squeeze to make a cup of orange juice? I never lied. From day one, I told you that I wasn't built for this math problem. If Paul has 5 apples, how many Facebook posts do you have to write before he has oranges? How many times do you have to be reminded that he was a fruit stand at one point, but now he just has apples? How many ways does he have to show you that all he ever had was a couple of apples? See, I never lied. From day one, I told you that this wasn't a goddamn fruit stand. At best, I was an apple tree, not even an orchard. Actually, I was just a guy standing on the side of the road holding 5 apples, but for some reason, you kept looking at me as if I was going to give you orange juice. Thank you.
This microphone, I'm so happy to have here because he usually goes to Boodle Slam, but here we are. Yo, give it up for my homeboy, Core!
That's why it's hard to say goodbye. That's why
every all the way to my
I love being black. I love being called black. I love being American. I love being a black American. Because as a black man in this country, I think it's a shame that in a few years we get a change of name. Since those first ships arrived here from Africa, they came across the sea, there are already black men in this country who were free. And on those terrible boats, they were called with names like nigger and slave and told what to do and how to behave. But then our masters started tripping, doing this midnight tipping. Down to the slave shacks we enforced he and great-grandma to be together. And when the other relative protested, he got tired and feathered. At the same time, the black men in this country who were free were mating with the tribes like the Apache and the Cherokee. And as a result of all that, we were parade on every shade. In this slave day and age, you can be sure there are too many of us in this country whose bloodline is pure. But according to the Geographical Geological Genealogy Study published in Time magazine, the first African man was on the scene. So we were the first on Earth, and through migrations, our characteristics started to change and rearrange to adapt to a climate we migrated to. And that's how it became me, you became you. So we want to go back, let's go all the way back. And if Adam was black and Eve was black, that makes it a natural fact that everybody in America is an African American. Everybody in Europe is an African European, and other countries, and so on and so on. That is, if the origin of man is what we're going to go on. And if one drop of black blood makes you black like they say, then everybody's black anyway. So quit trying to change my identity. I'm already who I was meant to be. I'm a black American, born and raised. And Brother James Brown wrote a wonderful phrase. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Because I'm proud to be black. And I ain't never lived in Africa. Because of what my relatives did doesn't mean I want to go back. Now, I have nothing against Africa. Because it's one of the most beautiful places and people in the world are found. But I'm blessed to go through a lot of places in this world. And if you ask me where I choose to live, I pick America, hands down. Now, by and by, we were called Negroes, because that's how you say black in Spanish. Then, it was colored, because we hold that against each other. It seems like we reverted back to a time of being called black was an insult, resulting in a fight. We were so brainwashed that black was wrong, it's the yellow and the black brothers couldn't get along. But then came the 1960s, because our shoulder pushed back with our heads held high, and black was beautiful. But I don't think that's good enough. Who comes up with that shit anyway? Being called black is a little bit more exotic, but I think it would be a little more neurotic. It's that same mentality that got Amos and Andy caught the air because they were embarrassed by the way the character spoke. And as a result of that action, a lot of wonderful black actors ended up broke. But we were just laughing, having fun about ourselves. But you want to know what I say to that? Fuck you if you can't take a joke. You never see the Beverly Hillbillies be protested by white folks. If you think that's because being called black is at ease, since we affectionately call each other nigga, I affectionately say to you, nigga please. How come I get a chance to vote on who I like to be? Who gave me the right to make that decision for me? I am under your rule and your dominion, and I'm entitled to my own opinion. There are African Americans here from Kenya, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now when it comes to generations, I can find a space in all locations. New York, LA, Miami, Detroit, Chicago. Even if he's wearing dashiki and sporting afro. If you go to Africa and search your race, you'll find out quick that you're not an African American. You're just a black man in Africa taking up space. Why you got a chance to detach yourself into a continent where you have a chance to go and you win? Most people claim you were one of them, as a pure granddaughter of some of them. Your heritage is right here now, no matter what you call yourself or what you say. A lot of people died to make it that way. And we go through all this suffering and grieving. How come so many people come and others leave? If you're tired of what's going on right now, use your privilege. Get to the polls and vote. God knows we have a right to be called American Americans and be free at last. And instead of moving forward and progressing, you're dwelling in the past. We struggle too long and come too far. Instead of knowing who we were, let's be proud of who we are. We're the only people whose name is always a trend. Where's the shit going in? Look at all the different colors of our skin. Black is not our color, it's our core. It's what we've been living and fighting and dying for. But if you choose to be African Americans as your preference, well, I'll give you that reference. I don't think I should stand alone on my own. But if I do, let me be me. And if you see me, they should say, there goes the man that says it loud. I'm a black American and I'm proud. Because I love being American. I love being black. I love being called black. Yeah, I said it, and I won't take it back. Smoking
shit for even Mandy to hear. So it's called It's called 14,000 Things. A friend gives me a book, 14,000 Things to be Happy About. I thank her. Her intentions are good. I don't know how to tell her, I can write 14,000 things to be sad about, 14,000 things to be anxious about, 14,000 things to be angry about. 1, I'm $60,000 in debt for an education I promised would pay off, yet I can't pay my bills on time. 2, my brain has been fucked since the day I was born. I can't afford to fix it. 3, I'm at a disadvantage because I have a vagina. 4, my daughter will face unfair challenges in a world I brought her into. 5, religion fucked me up. 6, sometimes I puke after I eat. It's the only thing that makes me feel better. 7, religion fucked me up. I treat my body like something to be used and not valued. 9, the line between good and bad has become significantly blurred for me. 10, I've lost all faith in humanity. My list goes on, but for now I must stop. Time to take a pill, time to take a nap. When I wake up, maybe I'll have at least one thing to be happy about. Nice meeting. All right. So this one's a little lighter. It's called Lone Star and Pizza. Yeah, I know.
That's the shit.
I stare in the mirror at my naked body, running my hands over my curves and stopping at the stretch marks. They remind me my body housed another being for 9 months. I recall how you said I'm kind of chubby after we made love on your ratty ass couch. You know what? Fuck you.
But don't fuck that guy!
No. I used to go to the gym 5 times a week so I can drink Lone Star and eat pizza. Now I say fuck it. I always take the stairs, always say no to dessert, never drink soda. Sure, I could do more. I could only eat salads, stop drinking beer. Why the fuck would I stop drinking beer? Out of fear that some awkward Neanderthal-looking motherfucker like you might call me chubby? No. So here's to you, because guess what? You're kind of chubby too. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna read one poem, maybe 2. First one.
Maybe 2 shits.
Circumstellar, or loving someone emotionally unavailable. Time takes a toll on a person who loves someone emotionally unavailable. The give and give and give drains my battery, leaving me feeling empty when the outpouring I give and give and give is refracted back to other subjects, objects, and activities that never include your look of inner truth. Like matter circumstellar to its orbit, it never touches that star. You made it this way. I allowed it, thinking time might help. Perhaps it's like chasing comets, only visible for a fraction of the time every few years. Telling myself I could make do, I can make that enough. Yet, I long for insight, seeing inside, despite the walls you built, blocking everything outside, including me. Small snapshots of what you permit anyone to view, damaged and scarred, I wish I knew who hurt you. I wish you did the work to improve those dark thoughts, the broken records and feelings that cause you to close yourself off. Short glimpses and fragments are all I have, like pieces forming a frosted stained glass window, not clearly visible unless you step away. But you still show some light when the clouds clear, and that's the hope I carry. Despite the predictable I don't knows to any question is never enough to feel satisfied, because reading you would cross a line. Easier to play dumb or seem unaware. The thing you do and don't do for me is like cause and effect that has no effect on me without intimacy. It's just repeated patterns and tokens of what formed this toxic behavior and codependency. How long will I let this ship sail? This whole situation is failing me. A demi paired with an emotionally unavailable human has me going through the motions, feeling detached, unable to feel good about it. If it weren't for time, I wouldn't know you at all. And it's taking a toll on me. Losing a sense of who I am, you escaping, hurting coughs and smells of green, glassy eyes, behind glass lenses, smirks, as you trail off to another room, another bed, another night. You avoided me. It's really taking a toll. That's it. I want to make that it. Thanks.
To the girl with the timid heart. Watch your back. Please watch your step or you're going to get hurt worse next time. I know. I kept believing because because I was so in love with the greater good that I forgot to see the bad, red flags waving, red hands waving, red lies that never end. See it for what it is, not what you want it to be. His phallic fantasy of what young love is supposed to be will have you waiting on a nightmare in lieu of a daydream. Don't go out like that. Don't go out like letting a little boy play G.I. Joe with the Barbie doll, scalping her hair and stripping her down until every element of what he thought was real beauty is scratched plastic and less than fantastic. Love yourselves more than you love him. And you will find someone with more love for you than themselves in the end. Trust your instincts and not just your chain reaction. To the girl with the timid heart. I know we don't know each other, but you are part of me because you are a creative woman. An experience is a waste of time if not shared among soul friends, so take my experience, carry it with you, and gather some more to pass on along the way. Love, blessings, and sweet travels in a rocky road, Mandy Lynn.
Sweet. So this is a poem I wrote. It's not new shit, it's not old shit, it's just, something I like to read when I'm like not feeling creative and this gets me kind of loose. I'm like, okay, I can do it.
Some shit!
This is just some shit, yeah. Don't forget it. Oh, don't you forget it. The spark of Christ. The Zen of Buddha. The music of cicadas guiding you to the highest source. Love and all things like it. I'm free. I'm free. I'll say it again. It sounds so good as it melts off my lips from each corner of my heart to the unopened rooms of yours. I'm free. I'm free. Let it fill your brain as those words bubble from your soul. As that little truth pops out of your mouth, we are all affected by what you do. When you say it, I want to say it too. I'm free. I'm free to dream professionally. Free to use my God-given gifts to give God to the slow growers. To let the gloomy glow gradient. Let genius grow wild. Let's be playful with our eternity. Be generous times 10. Come on, your gift is worth giving. Your mind is beautiful and you have things that need to be said. And we're all wanting. We're all watering at the mouth. We're all waiting to love you because your gift is worth giving. Your gift is worth giving. Give us what we didn't know we needed. Give a little something for the faithless. Give us some words of motivation. Pray we're all finish line crossers, creative mammals, cheering on the positive chaos needed for art and all things worth giving time to. Too many times tossed too many dimes in the wishing well. Wish I had 2,000 more lives to live life and give life. And in this life, I'm still learning how to love right. Want a love that feels like the sunshine summer of the young lovers. Ain't nobody love like us. Daddy was a born fighter. Mama was a born writer. Of course they got a foul mouth, free thinking off poet. All my life I've been a fire starter. My flame burned whatever hand that came close enough to touch me. But now my combustion is used to warm the coldest parts of the soul's tundra. Tongue like a smooth talker, talking like a fine bourbon, exciting all your mind's taste buds. Words that give you serotonin. Several signs say we're getting closer to the center of our senses. Whoever said we were level-headed? I'm a seriously silly letter writer, writing to the heavens for gods of all shapes and sizes. I want to talk to the little God that you have inside you. The one that guides your writing when you're working for the right words, and suddenly you say it perfectly. The little God inside you that sorts out the chaos and makes poetry. This one's for you. all the little gods out there using language to make magic. I feel free. I feel free when I can give words that heal others, just as the words of others have helped heal me. Oh, I feel free. I feel free. Yeah, thank you.
But I don't know if it's poetry, but I never recite it. I'll show my friends, all that good stuff. But it is what it is. It never gets spoken, all right? I'm going to let y'all know, I think a lot of you guys out here that's already gone, you're like intellectual, deep thinkers, philosophers. I'm not that guy. I'm going to let you know right now. And I wasn't even sure that anything I have written in my phone is even appropriate for this place.
Hey, everything is appropriate.
But it's fine.
We love inappropriate.
No, I'm not saying I'm inappropriate. I'm just saying that you guys are deep thinkers, and I'm not that guy. I drink and I write stuff.
Yeah! So does he. And he's a college professor.
Actually, I am, so that's funny. But I will find at least two notes, so I can show two sides at least.
Two shit!
But only thing I really know is money or women, so they're probably gonna have to talk about money or women somewhere in there.
You're taking up a lot of your 5 minutes, bro.
All right. Oh, we get to 5 minutes. That's cool. So I'm gonna waste as much time as I got. So let me see. All right. So I'll start with this one. None of my stuff have names, so I'm just start.
Unnamed shit.
All right. Poolside drinking some shit that I can't pronounce. Women remove rings so we don't ask about a spouse. Party favors offered to everyone on the couch, but I don't trust shit unless one of my niggas vouch. Money coming, money going, repetition. Most times the money multiply, so I never had to learn addition. Everybody wants a seat, most don't want to pay attention or pay admission. 220-year-olds trying to party right now. I have perfect vision. I admit I'm not a perfect gentleman at times, but since I can't rewind, I'm repaying for my crimes and ask forgiveness. I got blessings that's still growing. Let it go, that chip on your shoulder is still showing. I fucked last week, friends say that she's still glowing. Had a baby by a lame, people say that you still showing. Involved in some fuck shit is crazy and you ain't know it. How you use revenge as the reason you still hoeing. Jeremiah's dreams while I put it to bed was understood, don't need to be said. Why you reaching out to squash your beef that's already dead? That's dead meat. How you trying to kill something that's already dead? All right. I will let y'all know that I'm from New Orleans, so a lot of times my accent, y'all probably can't understand me. I understand, it's cool. Plus I've been drinking, I understand, it's cool. All right, so on a different side. She asked me if I really want a ticket there. I said I'm ready to go down that road and through all of the hidden passages. I'm tired of women who keep receipts to gain leverage. I'm tired of having to swipe up for the secret messages that vanish when you leave the app, delete when you see the snap. You better than that. Your friends making shit challenging. We are our friends is the saying, and I won't challenge it. Your friends basic, so you're basic. The law of averages. Please speak plainly. I'm tired of the hidden messages. I'm tired of making plans but always arriving separate. Cordial for the public, but privately we affectionate. Fights be getting heaven sent. The lies are getting desperate. We had one real convo and things been shaky ever since. I can take a clue, but you don't leave any evidence. I can take a trip, I don't trip, and I'm not coming back again. And it's got you sick, take a dose of your own medicine. If I gave you the game, you'd probably still diss me. Back and forth like a frisbee, that old story is history. Take a drive to cool off and you know that the whip is crispy. Doing 100 on the highway, but feel like I'm doing 60. Belly gone for the moment, I bet that she still miss me. I never thought that I'd move on, but her friends, they assist me. All our moments are magical, say that the feeling's Disney, but really fucking on the floor is the only time she's getting Disney. I'm not calling you loose, but does a chain dangle? No matter how you view it, girl, you know angel. Like you said, you like to say you changed, but girl, it's all the same, like taking the same pic from the bunch of... Oh, let me run it back. My bad. I'm not calling you loose, but does a chain dangle? No matter how you view it, girl, you know angel. Like to say that you changed, but it's all the same, like taking the same pic from a bunch of different angles.
something like that. My bad. I've been drinking a little bit. My bad. I appreciate it. My bad.
There are 4 states of matter. I learned that in science class at some point. Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. Plasma is hard to define, but very cool. Think lightning, not solid, but ionized, concentrated enough to fuck you up. I remember the Ghostbusters as a kid carried proton packs on their backs, and they used plasma to wrangle poltergeists. See, the joke everyone seemed to miss about that show is they were the punchline. Paranormal pest control. Who are you gonna call when the ghosts crawl out of your kitchen sink like spiders? When the mouse traps aren't big enough to catch a 12-story Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? The guy who brings the plasma guns. When I was 7, they sold plastic proton packs for $30. Adjusted for inflation, $30 in 1990 equals about $1.7 million in 2022. No. So unless those shits caught real ghosts, I was a sucker to suspect one would land under our Christmas tree. Instead, I used my brown leather church belt and imagination to pretend plasma catch ghosts and drive out the demons, running around the neighborhood like a poor kid punchline. One year, my mother hand-stitched cardboard and rope into an after-school special proton pack. She couldn't give me real lightning, but she knew she could shut me up for a few hours. And maybe that's the punchline. I couldn't dream the poverty real because I saw all the things I ever imagined. And maybe the punchline is I imagined the worst of the world around me until the best of the world wanted to come with me. Perhaps I still want to launch arcs of plasma, and while we never really put a finger on what it actually is, the best memories always spark the loudest lightning. Thank you. Magnanimous tonight. Woman, you know what time it is. It's that special time when you are comfy and braless, wearing only a t-shirt of mine and laughing at my corny jokes. When we act like the electric company had a vendetta and kill the lights. We bring the computer into the bedroom and angle it just right. Oh yeah. It's when our phones are tucked in on either silent or vibrate. And you happily cascade onto the bed like a charge of seahorses. Or whatever the professional term for a large group of seahorses might be. And we undress these covers and host a happily ever after until kingdom come the best way we know how. Sweet love, it is time for cuddling and Netflix. Cause shit, it's been a long week. And maybe it will or maybe it won't lead to sex, but maybe it's the potion that makes us me and you and us magic manifest. Maybe it's one more little thing in a legion of little things that swarm like sweet love and bees that eat us alive. Maybe it's the littlest things that keep us alive. Like the night I slipped an I'm sorry note under a locked door after a fight when we were both still very pissed off and you were wrong and I still apologize despite. We've grown up enough to not let anger linger cold in our home past one night. And maybe we're a few steps away from being square suburbanites, but that's all right. You couldn't care less about the new silly trends, though I know that you still wish you were as brand new as them, but I know that you know that I see you like a hotel chandelier above everybody coming in here and shining. And I know that you know there is no way in hell I would grow those really long hipster beards to look like these young dudes do now. That math makes 0 sense and South Texas is fucking hot. It's been a long week. But we've grown up to skip past taking cheap shots. We prefer silence over the wrong thing to say. Where now I know to undress my ghosts at your front door because they'd only bring down your day. It's not my job to let the world know how in love I am. To make them believe me. Because the world doesn't keep me company in those moments that Hallmark cards fail to write about. In the mornings, over coffee, when we are both without makeup and garb, without being on guard, and Eric Clapton's "You Look Wonderful Tonight" hits so damn hard. Darling, I don't need humanity to feel any more human. I just need you because one could splinter Stradivarius violins and still not find the secrets to the sweet sounds that they hold within. But like them, I don't know what happens when I hold you, but it takes me places. I sleepwalk in those moments. But like this poem, life starts in one place and ends up somewhere else, and we're here now. And I'm holding you. And for that, I am a grateful boy who's completely in love with your cinema. Thank you.
How's everyone doing? So, I've been coming to Poetry Night for a couple months now, and this has been a fucking awesome experience. So, if this is your first night, I'm glad you're here. If this is your third night, second night, whatever, please come next week as well for the 10-year anniversary. Like, let's keep this shit going. That part. So this one is some developing shit. Yeah, I've gotten to a point where I've stopped, but I haven't yeah, I'll just read it. So I'm working on it, but that's how it goes.
Sweater shit.
Sweater shit?
Yeah.
There's really no kind of guilt quite like Catholic guilt. You know, the kind that shames men and women for tainting the sanctity of marriage, for undoing and breaking the binds of a codependent relationship. The kind glued together by the blessings of a God bestowed by the hands of words of men. You know, the very hands and words that tainted the source of divine knowledge, twisting and spinning the threads of love and pleasure into guilt-ridden passion traps. The kind that restrain us from sexual liberation, from personal liberation. The very kind of passion traps that I find myself in when between the sheets of other angels who I shy away from. Shying away from indulging in every which physical notion I was taught was immoral and unclean, but our heavenly bodies are beautiful, and ecstasy is one legitimate path to enlightenment. So, why not give ecstasy a try?
Yeah.
Well, the drug, sure, if that's your zhuzh. But what I mean is pleasure. Eye contact and sleight of hand in between your thighs in the restaurant booth. Kisses on the side of your neck, pressed up against the door to your apartment. And sex. Sex, goddammit.
Sex, goddammit!
Sex, goddammit! The kind of sex that makes you say, oh God, oh Lord, sweet Jesus, and other praises that you hadn't practiced in years. Because those words carry the weight of both pleasure and pain. The kind of weight from body-generated steam that fills the room and smells like sweat and spit collected between your thighs. Like fingers in your mouth that pull the hot breath of fuck, give it to me like that out of you. Like the nectar that you and your lover feed to each other.
Sweet nectar.
Sweet nectar. Pleasure. Sex is one legitimate way of healing after all, and I'm learning to get better at accepting sexual healing. Because after all, there is no guilt quite like Catholic guilt. Thank you.